Have you ever wondered who was the first person to think, hey, let's carve little squiggles on clay tablets so people in the future can suffer trying to read them? Who invented the wheel? Not to drive cars, but mainly to move beer around. And most importantly, why did a civilization so brilliant disappear as if they never existed? Welcome, my friends. Today, we travel back more than 5,000 years to the land of Mesopotamia, where a mysterious people called the Sumerians invented pretty much everything we call civilization, then vanished, leaving us scratching our heads, asking, seriously, who were these guys? The Sumerians appeared around 4000 BCE in the fertile plain between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, a place often described as the cradle of civilization. Sounds lovely, right? Until you realize that farming there meant constantly battling floods. Imagine planting wheat today and waking up tomorrow to find a swimming pool where your field used to be. The real mystery: no one knows exactly where the Sumerians came from. Some theories say they migrated from the Iranian highlands. Others suggest faraway lands. And then, of course, there's the crowd that says they must be aliens. Sure, why not? When in doubt, blame the UFOs. But however they arrived, they didn't just settle down. They created something entirely new. City-states like Uruk, and Lagash, each with its own king, its own god, and probably its own set of annoying local taxes. The Sumerians were overachievers of the ancient world. Their invention list is so long, you'd think they were speedrunning civilization. Writing cuneiform. They invented the world's first writing system around 3200 BCE. Using a reed stylus, they pressed wedge-shaped marks into clay tablets. Finally, humans could record history, poetry, and shopping lists. Though, let's be honest, trying to read cuneiform today looks like deciphering a cat walking across wet cement. The wheel. Yep, the Sumerians gave us the wheel. Not for sports cars, but for pottery, carts, and, most importantly, hauling beer. In fact, beer was such a big deal that they had a goddess of beer named Ninkasi. Imagine that. People prayed for better harvests, victories in war, and good quality lager. Respect. Ziggurats. Massive stepped temples, like the famous ziggurat of Ur. These weren't apartment complexes, but stairways for the gods, or so the Sumerians believed. Each city had its own patron deity. Sort of like each modern sports team has its own mascot. Only, scarier. Other contributions? A number system based on 60, which is why we have 60 minutes in an hour. Early astronomy and a lunar solar calendar, and the Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's first blockbuster story, featuring a hero king, monsters, gods, and even a flood that sounds suspiciously familiar. So, what was daily life like? Surprisingly relatable. They ate bread, drank beer, and raised livestock. Kids went to school, where their homework was carving cuneiform onto clay tablets. Imagine lugging your assignments home when each one weighs 3 pounds. Farmers sweated under the Mesopotamian sun, while nobles relaxed in palaces, and bureaucracy was alive and well. The Sumerians loved contracts, receipts, and debt notes, all carved in clay. If you owed someone money, they had physical proof, a brick with your debt literally written on it. Try arguing with that in court. With all this brilliance, why did Sumer vanish? The answer? A messy combination of politics, invaders, and bad farming decisions. Civil wars. The city-states couldn't stop fighting each other. Think of it as sibling rivalry, but with armies and battering rams. Foreign conquest. Around 2003 through 34 BCE, Sargon of Akkad conquered Sumer, creating the world's first empire. Later, Elamites and Amorites joined the fun, chipping away at what was left. Environmental collapse. Over-irrigation salted the fields. Wheat stopped growing. Barley struggled. And suddenly the Fertile Crescent looked more like the Salty Crescent. Imagine waking up one day and realizing your farmland is now a salt flat. Oops. By around 2000 BCE, Sumer as an independent culture had faded. Their language died out in everyday use, surviving only in temples and schools, like Latin in medieval Europe. Yet, the Sumerians never truly vanished. Their influence echoed for millennia. Babylon and Assyria borrowed their writing, laws, and myths. Their stories shaped parts of the Hebrew Bible. And every time you check the clock, 60 seconds, 60 minutes, you're following Sumerian math. Oh, and yes, the love of beer never went away either. In a strange way, Sumer still lives in every receipt, every time measurement, every time someone cracks open a cold one after work. The Sumerians. The world's first civilization. They gave us writing, the wheel, law, epic poetry, temples, and yes, beer. They appeared like a miracle and disappeared like a cosmic punchline. Maybe the greatest mystery isn't where they went, but what it means for us. 5,000 years from now, will future archaeologists dig up our cities, look at our smartphones, and wonder, they were so advanced, how did they vanish so quickly?